So we are finding slope. And we're going to talk about finding slope for two different situations. The first one is going to be we have 2 points on a line, and we are being asked to find the slope. The second situation is we have a standard form equation that you are going to find the slope of. So let's get started. The simplest way conceptually to do the first problem is to graph it. There's another way, which we will learn, but let's go ahead and graph it and find the slope of these 2 points. So my points, I have -4, 2. Well, where is -4, 2? Well, if this is my origin, 0, 0, this is my x-axis, this is my y-axis, and I know that points are x, y. -4 would be 1, 2, 3, 4 over here, and then up 2. 1, 2. I'll put a dot. My second point is -6, 5. So if this was -4, -5, -6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a point here. Now I could draw my line, and I could, and I realize I should probably have used ruler, but you'll be okay. And you could make your little slope triangle. So what is my rise in this case? What is my rise?
3.
It is not 3. But that is a common mistake. It is not 3. It's -3 because we're going down. So we have a slope of we have a rise of -3. And I'll label this as rise. So what is our run? What is our run? It would be 2. So our slope for this, for the line that goes through these points would be -3 over 2. Now graphing it is there's nothing wrong with graphing this, but there may be a situation where the numbers are so far apart you're not going to want to graph them. It'd be just sort of a pain to build the graph. So there is another way of doing this. You may remember that slope is described as rise over run. You could almost read that as rise.
What?
There's rise. Now, rise over run, the rise is the change in your y value, right? So rise could be described as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now that's a lot of x's, a lot of y's. So we'll remind ourselves that this point right here, this first point that we see, we'll call this point 1. Therefore, this must be point 2. Point 1, well, this is going to be my x1 value. Here's my y1 value. What am I going to use to describe this value right here?
X2.
That's x2.
I remember this.
And this must be my y2. So let's plug that into our equation. So y2, what is our y2 value? 5. So we have 5. Yeah, it's really misbehaving today. 5 minus. What's our y1 value? 2. Over. What's our x2 value? -6 minus. What's my y1? Or sorry, what's my x1 value? -4. So what is 5 minus 2?
3.
What is -6 minus -4?
-2. No, what is the same answer?
Oh, look, we get the same answer, don't we? So we know that this works. So let's try this on another problem. We'll try this same method for this problem right here. Yes, you have done this before. This is not meant to trick or scare anyone. So, just a quick review. Slope is equal to rise over run, which is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's label our values. What are we going to call this value right here? x1. What are we going to call this value here? How about this value here? Okay. So what is my y2 value? 3. What is my my y1 value is 8. What is my x2 value? 1. What is my x? Okay. So 3 minus 8 is? -5. 1 minus 3 is, 4 is -3. -5 over -3 is equal to? 5 over 3, because dividing a negative by a negative is a positive. So my slope is 5 over 3. So this was just finding slope when you have 2 points on a line. And you don't need to graph it, although it will work if you were to graph them. The last problem for finding slope that I would like to show you is when we have a standard form equation. This is just like what we did for the investigation. Do standard form equations show you the slope? No. So what must we do to find the slope? Put it into slope-intercept form. All right, so what are we going to do both sides to get the y by itself?
Minus 5y.
We could subtract 5y, but then we have a negative in front of the y. And that's just kind of a drag.
Okay, how about we subtract 2x?
Subtract 2x, thank you, Ashby. So we'll subtract 2x from both sides. Am I allowed to combine 10 and 2x?
No way.
No, because this has an x, this does not. I can't combine it. So I have 5y is equal to 10 minus 2x. Now what do I need to do to get the y by itself? Divide by 5, because the opposite of multiplying y by 5 is dividing y by 5.
I'm still in the mindset of what we did.
So we're going to divide both sides by 5. So we end up with y is equal to 2 minus 2/5 x. So what is the slope of our line? What is the slope of our line? It is not 2/5. It is negative 2/5 because it has the negative sign in front of it. So our slope is equal to negative 2/5.